Migrants being released amid surge at border. San Antonio, the Border Patrol plans to release large numbers of migrant families in multiple locations along the southern border in coming days, expanding a practice that began last week in South Texas. Something needs to be done, a Border Patrol official said Wednesday, briefing a group of reporters in San Antonio on condition that he not be identified. We are at full capacity. Texas Rio Grande Valley and the El Paso area have seen the biggest influx of migrant families. So many have been. Some of the migrants said they and their children had been held for a week in miserable conditions before they were finally set free with notices to appear in immigration court. Normally, the agency transfers migrants to Immigration and Customs Enforcement to be processed and placed in detention or released while they wait for court hearings. But as ICE facilitates, local shelters, which are already struggling to take care of large numbers of recently freed families, are preparing for even more. Large releases are planned in El Paso, Yuma, Arizona, San Diego, and possibly Del Rio, Texas, according to the Border Patrol official. We're woefully underfunded for facilities, he said. It is a liability. Ruben Garcia, director of Annunciation House Shelter in El Paso, said he was scheduled to meet with Border Patrol officials late Wednesday to discuss how many migrants will be released there. He's not sure. We had space for them, barely, Garcia said. The total number of migrants caught crossing the border illegally is still well below peaks of the early 2000s. But the surge of the 66,450 migrants caught last month, more than half were traveling with family. An additional 9. The Border Patrol expects the total number of migrants taken into custody this month to reach 100,000, more than double the number last March. About 55 after President Donald Trump declared a national emergency on the border to pay for construction of his long-promised wall, Congress approved $415 million for improved medical care and detention for migrant families, including a new processing center with space for 800 migrants in El Paso. But that won't open. As of Tuesday, the massive central processing center that holds thousands of migrants in the Rio Grande Valley was at 245% capacity, the Border Patrol official said. Overcrowding had where it used to be just the Rio Grande Valley, now it's spreading, the official said. During a visit to El Paso on Wednesday, U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan warned that the agency had reached a breaking point and was facing an unprecedented humanitarian and border security crisis all along our southwest border. We are doing everything we can to simply avoid a tragedy, he said. But with these numbers, the Border Patrol was forced to increase migrant medical screenings in December, after 2 Guatemalan children died in its custody in the El Paso area. State medical now, the Border Patrol hospitalizes about 60 migrants along the border each day, McAleenan said. During the last week, the Border Patrol is temporarily reassigning 750 customs officers to assist Border Patrol agents processing, transporting, and guarding migrant families, McAleenan said. That's in addition to removing hundreds of agents from the ports will probably cause traffic delays at border crossings during peak Easter holiday traffic, a popular time for cross-border family visits, he said. The Border Patrol also took the unusual step of closing numerous highway checkpoints in its El Paso sector, which includes 268 miles of border in Texas and New Mexico. The Border Patrol officials said checkpoints could also be closed in other areas of the border, including the Rio Grande Valley, if the flow of migrant families does not slow. Copyright 2019 Los Angeles Times. Visit the Los Angeles Times at www.lateams.com. Distributed by Tribune Content Agency, LLC.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.